Szanowni Państwo, jest mi niezmiernie miło powitać wszystkich w Konsulacie Generalnym Rzeczpospolitej Polskiej w Chicago. Bardzo się cieszę, że możemy się spotkać przy nietypowej okazji, jaką jest stulecie. W tym przypadku budynku, ale rzadko mamy okazję celebrować stulecia i tak tego typu jubileusze. Ponieważ mamy wśród nas bardzo dużą część gości, którzy nie mówią po polsku, wobec tego, co pogrąża mnie w ogromnym smutku, będziemy rozmawiali, nie tylko ja będę dzisiaj tutaj przed Państwem, będą też inne osoby, ale będziemy używać języka angielskiego. Ladies and gentlemen, what I just said was that because of the nature of this event, and I'm delighted that you have come, and the result is that we have a sizable number of English-speaking people. So I was explaining that for some time we'll drop the beauty of our native tongue and switch to English. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I'm very happy to welcome you at the Polish Consulate, celebrating 100th anniversary of the building, not the office. The office will be celebrating its 100th anniversary in 3 years, in 2019. So please mark your calendars. I'm very happy to welcome representative of Mayor's Office, representatives of the Governor's Office, Benjamin Marshall Society, Preservation Chicago, Council Hall in Chicago, and all of you, the friends of this office and the friends of the building, the lovers of art and architecture. In 1974, Polish authorities decided to purchase this property. I've always thought, why was that? At that time, there were communist authorities, different way of thinking. America was considered probably public enemy number one. So why this investment decision? But as a result, we have this beautiful building, and we have a privilege to work here. And at this part, I couldn't fail to recognize Mr. Zbigniew Cięciara, who was in charge of the renovation of a very big project. I'm happy he's with us. So there's no reason to complain about the conditions here. We are happy to work here. Most of you could have seen that the office is a busy office. It's a really busy office now. So we have lots of things to do. But from time to time, we try to celebrate important moments of history and for the office and for Poles, for Polish Americans. But most of the time we're busy with typical consular job, which isn't exciting, it's rather boring, and but it's really hard work. So our visitors, we have, especially recently, we've been having lots of visitors. Some of them complain. There's basically two things they complain about. One of them is location, but this isn't a very serious complaint. If we move the office to Southside Chicago, then we'll have even stronger complaints from the people living in the north part of the city. And in places like Harvard Heights or in Wisconsin. So they wouldn't be happy to drive all through Chicago to get to South Park. And we obviously can't do it in the other side too, because we'll have all the complaints from the Southerners. So let's keep the consulate here. And the other more serious complaint is the lack of parking. But our assumption is that how often you need something from the consulate? Perhaps once in 10 years or once in a year in other stories. So we'll live with that. So we're not trying to change anything. So we stay here. The building has been recognized recently, and last year and 2 years ago we had open days together with Chicago Architectural Society, and we had hundreds of visitors. I was surprised that so many people wanted to see the consulate from the 80s. And these were hundreds of visitors, and we are thinking if we have capacity to repeat this, the same thing this fall. If we have the capacity, we'll do it. So again, we'll be proud to show the building to hundreds of people. So without further ado, I'd like to ask a few people to say a few words. And I'd like to ask Ms. Lisa Conklin, who is a director at the mayor's office in Chicago, to read the letter from Mayor Ramlano.
Hi, everybody. Thank you. The Polish community, of course, is very important to the city of Chicago, so the mayor is really sorry he wasn't able to be here, but we got his sentiments and wanted to relay this in a letter from him, so I'll read this letter from the mayor. Dear friends, as mayor and on behalf of the city of Chicago, I offer my warmest congratulations to you as you celebrate the 100th anniversary of the construction of the Polish Consulate's building in Chicago. The building has been an architecture treasure of Chicago since it opened in 1916. After it was purchased by the Polish government in 1974, this beautiful building has remained a cultural staple of our vibrant Polish community. 15 years after the purchase, the house became a historical monument, and in 2008, a Chicago landmark. This history is a reflection of the enduring relationship between the people of Poland and Chicago and the invaluable cultural, economic, and social contributions the Polish people have made to this city. Chicago is home to the largest Polish community outside of Warsaw, and since 1960, Chicago has enjoyed a strong sister city relationship with the Polish capital. Please accept my sincere congratulations as we celebrate the centennial of the Polish Consulate building. Sincerely, Mayor Rahm Emanuel.
Thank you, Jim. Say hi to I'd like to ask now Jane Lepo, who is the president and the founder of the Engineering and Commercial Society in Chicago, to share a few thoughts with us.
Thank you, Consul General Roszczynski. Did I say this right? Roszczynski.
You're very close.
Is that close? I've been working on that. Thank you. I have so much to say, and I don't want to bore you, but I have so much to say. I cannot be prouder of this consulate. And I only found out 3.5 years ago that from the last survivor of my mother's side of the family, when I said, he was on his deathbed, can you tell me where we're from? Because Mother never told us. I mean, I had an idea, but not, you know, I mean, some places. So he rattled off. And then he ended with Poland and Latvia. I mean, Lithuania, I'm so sorry, Lithuania, you know, and I was going, really? Like, I work, like, I mean, I never knew that. That's just so, I'm so excited. Anyway, I'm excited about Benjamin Marshall. My husband and I founded this society in 2002, and no one knew who Marshall was. They barely do today. But it's been a 14-year voyage, and we have come out with our first book, the very first book on Benjamin Marshall. Now you have to know that Benjamin Marshall he created East Lakeshore Drive. He designed the Drake, the old Edgewater Beach Hotel, the Blackstone Hotel, the Blackstone Theater, today the Mill Reskin Theater. He designed the South Shore Cultural Center, 100 years today. And in fact, the Edgewater Beach is celebrating with a 100-year anniversary with a year-long exhibit starting in June. 95 years of the Drake Hotel. And we are celebrating with a big party at the Drake on May 15th, and everyone should come. And I just got a call from the Archduchess on my way here, believe it or not, of Austria, from Houston, and she lived in a penthouse, and she said, "Jane, I'm coming." So I'm very, very excited, and that's on Sunday, May 15th. But with so much to say, and I don't want to bore you, I'll tell you with a few drinks, but I have to say that Consul General Rashitsky.
That was closer.
That was closer. Okay, oh, wait, that was closer. Okay, one more drink. All right, anyway, has been here in the last several years since things have been coming together, and his name is in this book. And I am so, so proud. And my husband, who founded this society in 2002, named me president. And I was saying to someone, a good friend here, Jessica Jagelnik, maybe someone will step up now. We have a book out, Who Wants to Be President, because up until now, no one did. But anyway, I want to present this to you. It is literally just in the bookstores as of Monday, at CAF, and well, in wonderful bookstores. But I want to also tell you that we only have 1,000 copies. And once they're gone, they are gone. Believe it or not, and people are ordering left and right. I'm so excited to give this to you. I'm going to call him Robert. I have one more thing to say. My husband is French, not his fault, but he's French, and I had the opportunity to live in Paris for 23 plus years. I don't count anymore. But I can tell you, and I hope there are not a lot of consuls here tonight, but almost every consul is jealous of this consulate, especially the French. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Jane. There's one friend of us who has always been in the area, in the neighborhood, and was being for a few years, or a few plus years, very close to the consulate. He knew all the consuls, and he knew all the stories. And I don't know whether he shared those stories with anyone. They say some stories should stay where they are, like in Vegas. So, but I hope that tonight, Mr. Konrad Michko, very good friend of the consulate, will share at least one or two stories with us. Konrad?
I've known this neighborhood all my life. In the early 1930s, the Consul General of Poland asked my grandmother to come to the consulate to be the administrator. And she ran the consulate. Various consul generals came and went. But she ran it until 1945, until the end of World War II, when the regime changed. and she was out of a job. She went back home to Wicker Park. The Consul General went back to his home on Chase Avenue in Rogers Park, and he said, since he knows English, he will stay with his family, his wife and 2 children in America. And he knew the language. He was very brilliant, and he became a banker and lived then for many years in Rogers Park. Afterward, the couple moved to the famous pink building, the Edgewater Beach Apartments, where he lived way past the age of 100. But this neighborhood here, which is called the Gold Coast, this Lakeshore Drive was slightly different years ago. Where you're sitting now was a swamp, was a sandbar. I was one of the people who gave input to the committee to change Lakeshore Drive the way it is near Oak Street. It wasn't that way decades ago. The way it looks now is an improvement from what it was. And this block here had 4 beautiful homes. 3 are left. The 4th one, which was on the corner, was the home of the famous plumbing tycoons, and they had a magnificent home there, which was torn down to have 1550, a modern building, but to me it's modern. It's 50 years old or so built. In the 1400 block, there was an empty lot. That was the last empty lot on Lakeshore Drive. Our friends and family with whom we grew up with, which, by the way, were Americans of Polish descent, had owned that lot. And he sold it to a man, he sold it to Mr. Rosenthal, who created Dunbar Realty. That was the gentleman who invented the word condominiums in Chicago. And so 1410 is the newest building along this stretch. Each floor has only 1 apartment in it. Next block, if you walk, the famous Junior League of Chicago has its home there. One of the women who owned 1447 gave it as a gift, the home, to the Junior League girls. I've dated many Junior League women. That's a very exclusive, always, it's changed now, but it was always very, very exclusive, very orientated for a certain type of women group. So that's a nice home for you to look at, 1447. Then another family with whom we grew up with was Rudolph Penn, to say, well, the name Penn, but the name was really Penkawa. And he was a noted artist with the Art Institute of Chicago. They had a historic townhouse on Schiller, right near Clark Street. Then the top of every story, I'll only speak a moment or 2 more, the best story is our friends had owned the best home on State Parkway. And they said, the daughter's gone, they want to downsize. They put the house up for sale. And one day a young man came along. He said, oh, I started my business lately. I think I'm doing very well. This house looks just what I want. I'd like to buy it. And they said, we don't know who you are, but show us proof that you're doing well in business. He said, yes, here are my papers. And they looked at the papers. They said, yes, you're making a profit. We'll sell you the house. His name was Hugh Hefner. And unfortunately, though, our friends, the husband and wife, who were both in business, he was unbelievable, an inventor. And again, this also was a family of Americans, but of Polish heritage. He graduated from the University of Michigan in 1931, and they divorced. He met a younger woman. She was in the famous 28 shop, which is the stylist women's shop of Marshall Field, and they married a younger woman. And she then married Mr. Doyle, who was of an Irish background, but he already worked in their conglomerate, so they knew each other. But they bought a home on Astor Street, again, one of the most famous homes, the House of the Golden Hand. And that house is on the east side of Astor Street in the 1300 block. That home was built by Mr. Goodman, who created the Goodman Theater downtown. And there are so many other things I could say about it. I've seen the neighborhood change a few times over my lifetime. And I'm happy to be here with these wonderful people that I know, especially.
Can you stay for a moment? Perhaps my memory fails, but I recollect the story of a wedding party here in this building. Is this true?
Yes. There might be one or two people in the audience who were at the party. I was very close to or dating. There was a female consul attaché at the time, and she was here for many, many years, longer than the usual term of 4 years. And we became she had met me years ago. She thought, first of all, that I was not Polish. Well, of course I'm American, but she thought I was British, or that I was some, whatever I was brought up to be an Anglo-Saxon, Protestant, but we hit it off beautifully, and we did carry on a very good friendship, and date and whatever, and I was invited here more than the average person. But one day, she said, and the Consul General is not here, but or staying home, whatever, doesn't know, maybe doesn't know about it, knows about it, was a gentleman, most of them were gentlemen. I'm having a party for this famous rock star and his lovely new bride. So you must come. So I came, and when I entered, opposite of how you enter today, there were colored lights, or there was a red carpet, or whatever color. There were balloons, festivities, photographs taken as we entered. And this room where you're sitting now was a ballroom. The doors were open, and food, unlimited drink, some live band, and people were jiving and dancing, whatever, on these floors. These floors can hold it, of course. But I'll tell you, years ago, this is the morning room, like a breakfast room, and where my friends are sitting over here, Richard and other people, there was a little marble fountain. That's gone. That was removed in 2008. At any rate, that party was it lasted all night, all morning. That party was unbelievable.
Who was the rock star?
Who was the rock star?
It's a Polish. He was from Poland. I forget the name.
Sir Boris?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Oh, thank you, Conrad. Okay, I'm so impressed, and I'm so happy. Thank you, Lisa, for the letter. I appreciate that, and please say a big thank you to the mayor, and thank you for the book, wonderful book, and it's only 1,000 copies.
I know, it's going fast.
It makes it really, really precious. But now I'd like to invite all of us for a recital by a true gem of Chicago, true diamond, or Katarzyna Augustik, who has been here for a while. And, we're happy to go to her concerts and gigs. And also Jarosław Bester, who came here from Poland, and he's very popular, very much touring Europe and now the US. Grażyna and Jarek are in the middle of the US tour at the moment. And I'm really happy and to announce that in a moment, Grażyna Augustik and Jarosław Bester will be with us.
Frédéric Chopin, Prelude C minor. triptych number 2. The introduction was an improvisation based on Bulgarian. is based on Polish folk. Oskar Kolberg, that's a very important person in Poland. He collected all the music from all the region around the Poland, like almost 100 years ago. And so we have a lot of sources, and we can base on his motifs and build on repertoire. Here's the one of the piece.
of the evening, and I have the pleasure of inviting you to light dinner, which is served next door. So if you leave this way, make immediate left turn when you leave this room. Okay.